Hello my dears, welcome to my latest video exploring the impact of editing on photos. In today's digital age, almost every photo we see have been edited in some way or another, whether it's adjusting the brightness, contrast, removing the blemishes, or even completely changing the background. Photo editing has become an essential tool for photographers and non-photographers alike. But how does this affect the way we perceive the world around us? Join us as we dive deeper into the impact of photo editing and its role in shaping our visual culture. We'll be taking a closer look at two popular photo editing tools, Adobe Lightroom and Snapseed. Both of these applications offer powerful features for enhancing your photos, but they have slightly different approaches to editing. If you are interested in trying out a Snapseed for yourself, it's available for download from the App Store on your mobile device. Open the Snapseed app on your device. Tap on the plus icon at the bottom of the screen to import a photo from your device's gallery or camera. Select the photo you want to edit. Once the photo is imported, tap on it to open the editing tools. You will see a variety of editing tools such as tone image, detail, crop, rotate, etc. In photography, cropping or framing refers to the process of choosing which part of photo to display and which part to cut off. The numbered chapter 2-3 and 4-6 refers to the different aspect ratios, which is the proportion between the width and height of an image. For example, a photo with an aspect ratio of 2:3 would have the width that is 2/3 of its height. A photo with an aspect ratio of 4:6 would have width that is 4:6, or simplified as 2/3 of its height. When it comes to uploading photos on social media platforms such as Instagram or YouTube, the optimal aspect ratio can vary depending on the platform and the type of the content you are sharing. For Instagram, the optimal aspect ratio for feed posts is generally 4:5 or 1:1 square, while for IGTV videos, the optimal aspect ratio is 9:16. For YouTube, the standard aspect ratio is 16:9. In general, it's a good idea to choose an aspect ratio that suits the content you are sharing and that the best showcases your photo or video. A structure is a setting that enhances the texture and detail in an image. It adds definition and depth to the photos. Sharpening is a tool that clarifies the edges of the objects in an image, making them appear more defined. It can help bring out details that may otherwise be lost. Contrast refers to the difference between the light and dark areas of a photo. Increasing contrast will make the highlight brighter and the shadows darker, resulting in a more dramatic image. Brightness refers to how light or dark an image appears overall. Increasing brightness makes the image lighter, and decreasing it makes the image darker. Saturation refers to the intensity of the colors in an image. Increasing saturation makes the color more vivid, while decreasing it makes the colors appear more muted. Ambiance is a setting that adjusts the overall mood and atmosphere of an image. It can enhance warm or cool tones, and gives the entire image unified feel. Highlights are the brightest parts of an image. Adjusting the highlight setting will affect the brightness of these areas. Shadows are the darkest parts of an image. Adjusting the shadow setting will affect the brightness of these areas. Each of these settings has a different impact on edit of photo. By adjusting the contrast, brightness, structure, sharpening, saturation, ambience, highlight and shadows, you can create different looks and moods in your photos. For example, increasing the contrast and saturation creates a more vibrant image, while decreasing the brightness and adding a warm ambience can create a cozy feeling. Understanding how each setting impacts on an image allows you to create a desired result of your photos. HDR and white balance are important aspects of photography that can greatly impact the final image. HDR, high dynamic range, is a technique used to capture a wider range of brightness levels in a single photograph. This is done by taking multiple photos of the same scene at different exposure and then combining them into one image. The result is an image with more details in both the highlights and shadows than would be possible with a single exposure. In terms of spacing, HDR can be especially useful in landscape photography, where there may be a large difference in brightness between the sky and the foreground. However, it's worth noting that while HDR can help capture more detail in a sense, it can also make images appear overly processed or artificial if not done properly. White balance, on the other hand, is a process of adjusting the color in a photo so that they appear natural or true to life. This is particularly important when shooting in different lighting conditions, such as indoors under artificial lights or outdoors during sunset or sunrise. The impact of white balance on photo editing is significant because it affects the overall color tone of the image. For example, a photo taken indoors under tungsten light may have a yellowish cast, which can be corrected by adjusting the white balance to remove the yellow tint. Similarly, a photo taken during a golden hour may have a warm, orange tone that can be adjusted in post-processing to create a more natural look. These are just a few examples of many factors that can be adjusted when editing a photo. The key is to find the right balance of these factors to create an image that looks naturally and visually appealing. One of the tools available in Snapseed is healing, which allows you to remove unwanted objects or blemishes from your photos. Use your finger to paint over the object or blemishes you want to remove. Snapseed will automatically replace the selected area with nearby pixels that match the surrounding area. Repeat this process until you've removed all unwanted objects or blemishes from your photo. Lensblur is a tool in the Snapseed app that allows you to simulate a shallow depth of field effect on your photos. This effect blurs the background of the photo while keeping the subject in focus, creating aesthetically pleasing and professional looking image. In the lens blur tool, you can adjust the blur strength by increasing or decreasing the amount of blur applied of the photo. You can also adjust the transition, which controls how gradually the blur fades into the sharp areas of the photo. Use your finger to draw a circle around the subject you want to blur. You can adjust the size of the circle using the slider at the bottom of the screen. Additionally, the vignette strength slider can be used to darken the edges of the photo, creating a natural vignette effect that helps draw the viewer eye toward the center of the image. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in learning more about photography, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram for weekly tips and tutorials.